Hello, I'm Lucy Gunawan, Head of the Data Science at TIMI. Today, we're examining the calculator box within Anatella, a fundamental tool for data transformation. This session will focus on both numerical data manipulations and the application of useful operators and constants. Today's discussion will concentrate on two key topics. First, manipulating the numerical data. Second, working with useful operators and constants. The calculator box supports a wide range of operation on numeric data that includes standard arithmetic calculations, logical comparisons, rounding, randomization, logarithms, exponent and roots, aggregation, numeric validation, trigonometry, and conversions. You don't need to memorize all this function. Anatella help section and reference material are available to provide syntax guidance. To follow along with this example, right-click on the calculator box and choose the third numerical. Let's explore some basic arithmetic operations that are commonly used. We have columns X and Y containing numbers, and we want to add this value together. Let's add a calculator box. After specifying X and Y as the input variables, we can create a new variable named Z. Keep its meta type to floating points and input the formula X plus Y. Then you have Z as a new column. It's that simple. To prioritize operation, we can use bracket. For example, let's make another variable called ratio to calculate the ratio of y to the total sum of x and y. The formula would be a helpful tip. Once we've calculated z as the sum of x and y, we can mark it as an input var to use its value directly, making our calculation y divided by z. This approach is straightforward and intuitive. Logical comparison operators allow us to compare two values for conditions such as equality, inequality, greater than, and less than. For example, using our previous table, we can check if x is greater than y. Let's make a new column and call it more than, and put the formula x more than y. If this condition is met, Anatella will return 1. Otherwise, it returns 0. In our case, the first and last rows do not meet this condition. In Anatella, a column containing strings is automatically converted to a numeric variable inside the calculator box if the strings are valid numeric values. Let's demonstrate by adding a calculator box. We'll add earnings as an input variable. Notice that cast2number is checked by default. This feature allows the variable to be seamlessly used in numerical calculations. For instance, we can create a new variable called earning number as a duplicate of the variable earning. We'll observe that our new column has a blue background, indicating it is in floating number format. However, when a column such as earning contains strange number like comma for 1000 separators, automatic conversion may result in none, not a number values. To solve this, we first use the replace function to remove the commas, replace comma with nothing in earnings. Next, we can convert the clean string into a number with the A to F function. Thus, the formula is as follows. The acronym A to F stands for ASCII to floating point. Let's apply this formula in the earning columns. Now, earnings is correctly converted to a numeric value. If you're finding value in this tutorial so far and enjoy the way we're unraveling these concepts, why not take a second to like this video? It's really support the channel and help us bring more content like this to you. And if you haven't already, Hitting that subscribe button and bell icon ensures you won't miss out on all the exciting tutorials we have lined up. Now, let's dive back in and continue our exploration. There are a few other operators that are commonly very handy to have. In this section, we will explore 4 of them: is null, not, the conditional or ternary operator, and the logical operator. To follow along with this example, right-click on the calculator box and choose number 4, useful operator and constant. Let's first examine the dataset we are using. This dataset contains information about individuals and their mobile subscription plans, including a unique identifier, the individual's name, their subscription plans, data and minutes allowances, and the data and the minute use, along with the start and the end dates of the subscription. Notice that we have a missing value in the end date of some subscriptions. To demonstrate this function, we will create a new column called perpetual customer. A perpetual customer is a customer without a predefined end date. To implement this, add a calculator box, name the new column perpetual customer with a meta type of key, then use end date as the input variable. Put this formula in the formula box, which basically asks, is the end date value null? When executed, this field will hold a value of 1 when the end date is null and 0 when the end date has a value. Occasionally, it's necessary to identify records that do not have a null value. In such cases, we use the not function to perform this negation. Let's create another column called non-null with the meta type of key. The formula is thus marking records where the end date is not null. The conditional operator is very useful for checking a condition and assigning a value accordingly. The syntax is A question mark B double colon C, meaning if condition A is met, then use the value B, otherwise use value C. For example, have you noticed the unlimited values in the minute allowance column? We cannot use this string for numeric calculations as they are now. So let's convert them into a number. Considering there are 31 days in a month, 24 hours in a day, and 60 minutes in an hour, we calculate that 43,200 is the maximum number of minutes per month. We'll update minute allowance to this number when it's unlimited. Otherwise, the value remains the original minute allowance. Let's add minute allowance as an input variable, then create a new column. This time, select update var in the column outcome and change the meta type to string. Then input our formula in the formula box and execute. Now, the unlimited value is changed to 43,200. This is nice, but the metadata type of minute allowance column is still string, and I prefer to have a floating point metadata type for this column. So, I'll rewrite my expression as this. And let's check the result. In more complex scenarios, ternary operators can be used in cascade similar to a case-when statement in SQL. This approach allows for multiple conditions to be evaluated sequentially, each with its own outcome. Let's add a practical example to enhance our understanding. We'll create a new variable named max quantity of devices based on the subscription plan. This variable will be assigned a value depending on the type of subscription plan a user has, as follows. This expression checks the subscription plan variable against multiple conditions in sequence. If a subscription plan equals to basic, max quantity of devices will be set to 1. If it's equal to standard, the variable will be set to 3, and if premium, to 6. If none of these conditions are met, max quantity of devices defaults to 0. Let's check the result of our new max quantity of devices column. To demonstrate the logical operator, let's identify max out customers, those who exceed their data or minute allowances. We'll define max out customer as 1 if data use GB is greater than data allowance GB and minute use is greater than minute allowance. Otherwise, it will be 0. Let's create our new column and name it max out customers with the key meta type. Add data allowance GB, data use GB, minute allowance, and minute use as input variables. Then input the formula data use GB more than data allowance GB or minute use more than minute allowance. After running it, we identify the max out customers. There you have it, a comprehensive demonstration of the calculator box. In this tutorial, you've learned about the most common function for manipulating string and numeric data, along with other useful functions. If you're new to the calculator box, consider watching the video Introduction to Calculator Box and Manipulating String Data. There is also a video about date manipulations. Click here to watch. See you next time!